I wish I had watched this video sooner. I was suffering from insomnia because I kept getting up to urinate at night, and my life was ruined. I tried all kinds of medications and went to see many doctors, but none of them provided a complete solution. Until I discovered this method, the information you will learn at the end of the video changed my life. If you're also looking to get rid of this problem, make sure to watch it all the way through.
You just listened to our patient and saw the difficulties he was experiencing. We relieved him significantly with this method, and he was very pleased. Now it's your turn. I will share with you the simple yet effective secrets to preventing nighttime urination. At the end of the video, you will find information that will change your life, so don't miss it. Dear friend, as we grow up, our nights sometimes become our biggest test. Waking up in dark hours, feeling lost during the front. It's as if our bodies are starting to talk another language for us. But I want you to know this is not just an indispensable part of aging. First of all, I want to know where you look at and when is it. For what to share in this video can be a significant twist for you. You will see it very clearly because I tell you the story of Will G.I. This dear grandfather, who lives in Florida at the age of 78, woke up at 14 and was lost in the silence around him. It's not dawn, but my body is awake, and my brain is blurry as a blurred window, he wants to say. Imagine those moments, deep silence in the room, the remote clock, and the heavy, helpless feeling of not being able to sleep back. While throwing and turning to bed, he felt the heat on the pillow, raining the pattern on the roof, and thinking about the next day. Moon Gi first thought this was a natural consequence of aging. When he went to the doctor, they said, "You're getting older, these things are normal." So he almost completely stopped drinking water, staying dehydrated during the day, his lips drying out, and only taking a sip in the evening. But the situation didn't change. The familiar awakenings at night, the foggy state of mind, and the tired awakening in the morning as if he hadn't slept at all. Until he gained a small but powerful insight at a small health workshop he attended with his wife. The health expert there shared a simple yet revolutionary piece of information, just as important as how much water you give your body is when you give it. Perhaps even more so. Especially after the age of 60, the body's ability to process fluids at night changes significantly. When we're young, our kidneys can continue processing water even at night. But as we age, our nighttime metabolism slows down, kidney function decreases, and levels of vasopressin, the hormone that regulates urine production, drop. This means that every glass of water consumed in the evening stays in the bladder overnight and wakes us up. The change Moon Gi implemented was simple but effective. He started drinking water earlier in the morning, a large glass before breakfast, another glass with breakfast, and another after breakfast. He also drank another glass before noon. At first, it was challenging because habits don't change easily, do they? Having multiple glasses of water in the stomach felt a bit odd. But the body adapted to this new rhythm within a few days. The real difference came from gradually reducing fluid intake after 6 p.m. He also started eating dinner earlier, around 5:30 p.m., and drank only half a glass of warm water with it. This warm temperature both eased his digestion and helped his body transition into night mode. He didn't consume any liquids close to bedtime. When his mouth felt dry, he would take just enough water to moisten his lips. These small changes weren't even noticeable at first. But after a week, he started waking up only once during the night. After 2 weeks, he woke up in the morning without waking up at all for the first time in years. When he woke up that morning, it felt like he had returned from a long journey. "It's as if my mind is refreshed every morning," he said with that familiar smile. "I even remember my dreams now. I haven't experienced anything like this in years." Moon Gi was not alone, of course. Clara, a 71-year-old woman living in the same neighborhood, turned into a ritual of peace after drinking chamomile tea after dinner. This was the most beautiful moment of his day. Sitting in front of TV, wrapped in his favorite blanket, steam with hot tea and steam. In the calm of his house, the scent of tea helped him forget the stress of the day. I felt that tea gave me peace, but it came to know that it was removing my sleep, he later said. Because that big cup of tea, about 300 milliliters, provoked her bladder at night, woke her 2 or 3 times. Now Clara drinks his tea 2 hours before dinner. The same chamomile tea, the same porcelain cup, the same soothing ritual, but this time without interrupting her sleep. In fact, he saw that the taste of tea was even better in the evening after changing the time. She used to drink tea while sunlight was still streaming through the window, giving her a different kind of peace. It's not just tea, my dear friend, milk, hot soup, or even those seemingly innocent light fruit juices consumed at night can put extra strain on the bladder. Even a glass of orange juice drunk in the evening forces the kidneys to work harder due to its natural sugar and acid content. Warm milk drunk at night, on the other hand, keeps the digestive system busy throughout the night due to its liquid and protein content. One of the kindest things we can do for our bodies is to reevaluate our relationship with water and other fluids as we age. This is not a restriction, but an act of understanding. With a small change in timing, more peaceful nights and more energetic mornings are possible. And most importantly, this is not your fault. No one gave you this information. No one told you that, after 60, the timing of water intake changes. But you're not alone anymore. You have this information, and now the change is in your hands. Of course, sleep disruption doesn't just end with fatigue. It has a domino effect. Sometimes you wake up with leg pain in the morning, because your muscles remain tense from not sleeping comfortably at night. Sometimes it continues with a feeling as if your mind is passing through a fog. Concentration becomes difficult, and even performing daily tasks becomes a hassle. That's why small habits make a big difference. I also want to mention Mr. Harold, who lives near Chicago. He is 74 years old and a retired math teacher. Every night before going to bed, he would go to the bathroom, saying, just in case, and sometimes even force himself to urinate even if he didn't feel the urge. This was a responsibility for him, actually. It was part of that be prepared reflex from his childhood. When he was a child, his mother always told him to go to the bathroom before bed, and this rule had continued throughout his life. But over the years, he had unknowingly trained his bladder in the wrong way. Now, even when the bladder was only 1/3 full, it began sending a signal to the brain saying, you need to go to the bathroom. In medicine, this is called overactive bladder, meaning the bladder sends alerts even when there's no real need. This situation disrupted Harold's sleep every night, and when he woke up, he felt a significant tension in his body. His heart was racing, his breathing was a bit labored, and it took hours for him to fall back asleep. Fortunately, the cycle got turned around. Taking a urologist's advice, he ceased this cautious bathroom behavior before going to bed. At first, he was anxious, what if I wet the bed at night? But within a few weeks, his brain regained its equilibrium and the bladder began sending signals when it was really full and not when it was empty. Many elderly persons suffer from the dilemma of not drinking enough water throughout the day. Extremely common stuff. Their mornings might start with a few sips of coffee, and by noon, very little intake. Some even go as far as totally forgetting to drink water, feeling less thirsty as they get older. Late evening is then a rush to grab 1, 2, maybe 3 glasses of water just to compensate for the whole day. They sort of drain the fluid intake in the late hours thinking, I didn't really drink water throughout today, let's make up for it. Dear friend, we forget that our kidneys work like a clock. These organs do not function at the same efficiency throughout the day. During daylight hours, from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., the body is more active, the heart pumps more strongly, blood pressure is at an optimal level, digestion works faster, and the kidneys process fluids more easily. Water consumed during these hours circulates quickly through the body and eliminates excess fluids as urine. However, in the evening, when metabolism slows down, water consumed during these hours quietly occupies the body throughout the night. Excretion is delayed, and the bladder remains full throughout the night. This disrupts sleep patterns. Additionally, since the kidneys function more slowly at night, the body's water balance is disrupted. After learning this information, Harold shifted his water consumption to the morning hours. Every morning when he woke up, the first thing he did was drink a large glass of water. Since the body loses water overnight, we wake up dehydrated in the morning anyway. Then, he started drinking another glass with breakfast, and another glass after his morning walk, a light 20-minute walk. He drank another glass with his lunch around noon. This way, he met most of his water needs in the first half of the day. After 5 p.m., he gradually reduced his water intake. He even developed a small habit, drinking the water he consumed after 7 p.m. from a small porcelain cup. This cup was a memento from his wife, and its volume was approximately 150 milliliters, neither too much nor too little. Drinking water from that small cup gave him both a nostalgic sense of peace and helped him control the amount he drank. Even when the cup was empty, he began to feel a sense of peace, as if he had completed his daily water intake. And this small detail truly transformed Harold's nights. In the first week, he woke up only once. In the second week, he didn't wake up at all on some nights. After a month, he began sleeping 6 to 7 hours straight regularly. He also woke up in the mornings feeling more refreshed and energetic. Let's also talk about Nancy, 69, who lives in Arizona. She is in a peaceful retirement, gardening and reading. She had taken to drinking ginger tea nightly at 9:30 for as long as she can remember. This was not a drink. It was a practice she took to relieve the weariness of the day and to rest her mind every night. As she began to prepare her tea in the kitchen, she would smell ginger, actively listen to the water heater, and enjoy her surroundings. But at some point during the night, she awoke, even though her bladder was nearly empty, with the very annoying feeling that she had to go to the bathroom. It was very odd because she did not need to go, but her brain had other ideas. Each night now, she awoke at least 2 or 3 times, went to the bathroom and voided only a very small amount of urine. This stress only made the challenge of sleeping more difficult. Nancy decided to move her tea time to 6 p.m. and drink only 2 sips of warm water before bed. At first, this change was difficult because evening tea was very meaningful to her. But she noticed that the tea she drank at 6 p.m. had its own unique beauty. Drinking ginger tea while watching the flowers in her garden before the sun had set brought a different kind of peace. With this small change, she began to sleep 5 to 6 hours straight at night within a week. The dark circles under her eyes faded, her skin tone improved, and she said she could hear the birds singing in her garden more clearly in the morning. "I didn't miss the birds' morning melody this morning," she said, her eyes sparkling. "It turns out it's not about how much you drink, but when you drink it. My body was teaching me this, but I didn't understand it." These experiences tell us something, dear listener. If your nights are interrupted, you are not alone. This problem is much more common than you think. In the US, 1 in 3 people over the age of 60 experiences similar situations. These small mistakes aren't your fault. No one taught you how your body would change over time. Even in medical schools, these topics aren't covered in enough detail. Doctors often offer medication solutions, but the real solution is often hidden in these simple lifestyle changes. But now you have this knowledge. And every new day is an opportunity to start with a new habit. Please think of a friend who also has disrupted sleep at night. Share this video with them. Maybe their nights will become peaceful again. If you're ready for these small but meaningful changes, let's make tonight beautiful together. Sometimes the reason for waking up at night isn't what we drink or eat, but when we do it. Mr. Leonard, a 70-year-old man living in San Diego, showed us this very clearly. He was a very health-conscious person, ate organic food, and went for regular walks. He believed that everything he drank before bed had a detoxifying effect on his body. He had learned this belief from health websites online, and it made perfect sense to him. Therefore, he drank about a liter of water between 7 p.m. 19.00. He thought, it cleans my kidneys and eliminates toxins. Sometimes they added lemon, sometimes a pinch of salt, made it detox water. However, his body had something to say, which used to wake up 3 times during the night to use the toilet. In the morning it was not about waking up, it was forced to wake up. Det var morgendagen ikke ønsket a kom seg ut av omslaget. He woke up with a minor headache, a foggy mind and a heavy body. Although he drinks coffee, the fog in mind will not be clear. He couldn't do himself before dinner. Until he decided to change this habit. Following the advice of a nephrologist, he began to consume 70% of daily water intake before 3 p.m. 2 glasses when he woke up, 2 glasses in breakfast, 2 more glasses before dinner. In this way he met most of his daily water demands at noon. In the evenings, he only drank a small glass around 6:30 p.m. He also moved his famous detox water to the morning hours. The lemon water he drank in the morning both woke up his stomach and helped his kidneys function more efficiently throughout the day. Within 2 weeks, he began waking up only once. After a month, he was able to sleep soundly through the night, resting uninterrupted until 5 in the morning. The most surprising thing, he said, is that my dreams have returned. I hadn't been dreaming or remembering them for years. Now I have colorful, detailed dreams and remember them. As you can see, the solution isn't drinking less, it's drinking earlier. When you provide your body's organs with fluids at the right time, they respond with peace and rest at night. This is actually about collaborating with your body, not fighting against it. Now let's talk a bit about dinner. Because for many older Americans, dinner isn't just a meal, it's also a peaceful moment of sharing at the end of the day, those warm minutes when we share the day's fatigue with our family. The TV is on, maybe a news program is being watched, and the day's events are being discussed at the table. The value of these moments is immense. However, as we become more sensitive as we become age, digestion, fluid balance, and bladder. There is no problem while eating a plate of pasta or pizza late at night in our 20s. The same food in our 60s keeps our stomach busy overnight. Therefore, it is not enough what we eat but when we eat which starts determining the quality of our sleep. For example, a hot vegetable soup, a light lentil dish, or broth made of broth that mostly appear to be liquid are amazing when consumed during the day. They are rich in protein, vitamins, and minerals. However, when eaten close to bedtime, they continue to add fluid to the bladder without any notice. A bowl of soup is about 250 to 300 milliliters liquid. This night increases the whisper of the bladder, which can then turn into a disruptive awakening. Similarly, some herbal tea or drinks such as golden milk can temporarily relax the brain, but due to their water content, they increase urine production overnight. Particularly a light diuretic effect beverages, such as green tea or spicy milk, stimulate the urinary tract even more in older individuals. Caffeine in green tea, even small amounts, can affect sleep in older individuals. The example of 68-year-old Mr. Marvin from Portland is very meaningful. He was someone who placed great importance on healthy eating and consumed vegetables and fruits every day. Every night before going to bed, he ate a salad because he believed it was light and healthy. This salad was the perfect evening meal for him, low in calories and rich in vitamins. His salad contained plenty of tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, a little onion, lemon, and a small amount of olive oil. Sometimes he added a bit of cheese to make it more balanced in terms of protein. But what he didn't realize was that these vegetables had a very high water content. A medium-sized tomato is 95% water, cucumber is 96% water, lettuce is 95% water. In fact, while he thought he was eating salad, he was actually consuming a large amount of water. That's why he had to get up 2 or 3 times a night to use the bathroom. He woke up tired in the morning and felt sleepy during the day. It didn't take long for Marvin to change this habit. Following a nutritionist's advice, he moved the salad to lunch. Eating salad at lunchtime was both refreshing and gave the body enough time to process the fluids in the afternoon. In the evenings, he opted for lightly steamed vegetables. By cooking vegetables like broccoli, carrots, and zucchini with a little oil, he created a tasty and easy-to-digest meal. After cooking, the water content of these vegetables decreased, but their nutritional value remained intact. His condition of not being able to sleep continuously for years changed in just 1 week, and he began sleeping continuously for 6 hours. "Unbelievable," he said, "I'm eating the same vegetables, but preparing them differently and eating them at a different time. Could such a simple change make such a big difference?" Moreover, he did not require medication or water cut on his intake. Only the time was changed. This goes on to show how clever the body really is. When we feed the body with the right stuff at the right time, it is grateful for the gesture. However, self-consumption is a common pitfall that many older adults make without even knowing it. Pickles, spicy ones, chips, or overly salty sauces. Salt use is quite high in American cuisine as it is. Frozen dinners, canned foods, prepared meals all just conceal their salt content from us. After consuming these salty foods, the feeling of thirst is amplified. The thirst for more water is there to maintain salt balance. The outcome of this situation is more drinking of water and more times getting up at night. Especially between evening hours, snacking on salty food, salty handful of nuts or chips while watching TV all night creates that thirst feeling. But this doesn't mean you have to give up your favorite foods. The key is to respect your body's changing rhythm, respect your habits, but also recognize your body's new limits. In other words, choose these foods during the day when your body is more active, and in the evenings, finish the day with meals that are easy to digest and low in liquid content. For example, eat that pickle you love at lunch. Enjoy your chips with your afternoon tea. This way, you can savor the taste without disrupting your night's sleep. Because when the body calms down, the mind calms down too. And sometimes, sleeping peacefully is as simple as eating one less plate of watery food or drinking a glass of water a little earlier. It's that simple. Remember, dear friend, the body's needs change with age, but this change is not punitive, it is guiding. Your body is telling you, I need to behave differently now, approach me differently. Just like the short walks you take in the morning. With 15 minutes of morning exercise, gently swinging your legs while sitting on a chair, arm movements, or a light walk in the garden, you can direct the fluid that accumulates in your feet during the day upward to the kidneys and expel it. When you lie down at night, this fluid re-enters the circulation as your feet rise to heart level, forcing the kidneys to process it. But if you move during the day, this fluid has already been expelled, so the kidneys aren't burdened with extra work at night. This small routine can help keep your bladder quiet at night. And that's when sleep becomes not a necessity, but a gift that returns. When you wake up in the morning, you can say, what a good rest I had, I'm ready for the day, instead of, oh no, I slept in, I'm late. At times, the largest changes can start with a small habit. Aunt Eleanor was a lovely 72-year-old woman from Atlanta. She was sleeping on her back with a tall pillow for years thinking she was helping her back pain. Yet she would wake up twice or more every night and felt tired in the morning. She learned from her physical therapist that she needed to switch to a left side position with a thin pillow under her head and some support between her knees. In the beginning, it felt very strange, but after a week her sleep became deeper and she woke up less often. The change was not just about position but also about respecting the body's natural sleep rhythms. For her, it also meant a change in her clothing, to cotton and breathable and a cooler temperature, rather than wearing thick pajama sets and thick blankets. Her body temperature began to settle within a normal range, her night sweats decreased, and she stopped feeling thirsty. So her kidneys and bladder began to work less at night. If you wake up at night, ask yourself, do I really need to, or is it just a habit? Take a deep breath, listen to your body. This small awareness alone can change the rhythm of the night. Aunt Grace from Texas also used this method and now sleeps uninterrupted most nights. It's as if I've become friends with my body again, she says. However, many older adults still cling to certain misconceptions. If I drink less water during the day, I won't wake up at night. In reality, not drinking enough water strains the kidneys, leading to more frequent trips to the bathroom at night. Drinking plenty of water throughout the day, especially between 6 a.m. and 3 p.m., helps relax the bladder. Diane from Florida had made it a habit to drink warm water at 9 p.m. She thought it was good for her digestion, but this habit was filling her bladder. When she started drinking the same warm water at 6 a.m., both her digestion improved and her sleep quality increased. In conclusion, while these changes may not seem significant, their effects are profound. Aunt Eleanor now feels young in the mornings. Sleep is no longer a battle, it's an old friend returning to me, she says. Because the body still hears you, it still wants to heal. All it needs is the right timing and kindness. Water, movement, rest. When everything is in its place and at the right time, the body responds with peace. Aging is not a disease, it is a maturation. And a mature body demands mature behavior. Drinking water early, eating early, moving early, these are signs of maturity. If this story has given you a new approach today, write Asha in the comments. Hope is not just a word, this can be a beginning. Maybe your word will be the first step of others. Let's support each other in the comments and share our experiences. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like it. Subscribe to this channel, like a small promise you make yourself. Turn on information so we can take another step with many others each week thinking like you. Every week we share new information that will improve the quality of life for our oldest. And if you share this story with a friend who requires it, you can give them the most beautiful gifts. Uninterrupted sleep. Think about how valuable it is for someone you like to be able to sleep peacefully at night. This sharing can change life. Dear elderly friend, it is now possible to live without waking up at night. This is not just a dream, it is a reality experienced by thousands of people. You can experience this reality too. In the next video, we will discuss which types of salt trigger nighttime urination and how certain spices affect sleep quality. I will also share practical tips for ideal dinner menus and nighttime snacks for seniors. In the meantime, remember that every small change is a big step. Try drinking your water a little earlier tonight. Have your dinner a bit earlier. Skip that precautionary bathroom break before bed. And feel the difference when you wake up in the morning. I'll be waiting for you. Wishing you healthy, peaceful nights. You're not alone on this journey, we're all working together for better sleep. See you soon, dear friend.